So in your search for your perfect morning routine as an entrepreneur, you've probably seen lots of videos and posts that talk about journaling, meditating, working out, listening to inspirational podcasts or audiobooks, creating and looking at your vision board, which is all great stuff, but not to do when you first wake up. Hey, I'm Jason, digital marketing consultant, and in this video, I want to share with you my personal morning routine that's actually counter to what most of the other advice you may have heard of in the past, and that's because I believe the goal of your morning routine should be to get you ready to perform at your best for your most important task as quickly as possible. So this means shortening the time between when you wake up and when you actually get to work. Because if you want to put yourself first and you want to put your goals first, then the best way to put your goals first is to give your most important time of the day to something that's actually going to push your ultimate goals forward. So I'll get more into that in a little bit here, but we're going to go through kind of the first 2.5 hours of your day and how I recommend actually spending it. Because when you first wake up, your brain is like a sponge. Your subconscious mind is going wild, is actually awake and ready to be used as a processor. Your alpha brain waves are also very high. And so this is a great opportunity to take a mental state that's very hard to get into later in the day and focus it on your most important task. And so in your first 10 minutes, there's only 4 things you need to do to actually set yourself up for success for the next 2 hours. So we'll get to what to do in those next 2 hours. But in the first 10 minutes, there's only 4 things you need to do. 2 for your mind and 2 for your body. So the 2 for your mind is, number 1, don't hit the snooze button. You want to start with the day showing your subconscious mind that your intention to keep commitments with yourself. That's literally what you're doing. As soon as you hit the snooze button, you're telling your subconscious mind, I said I was gonna do it, but it doesn't really matter. And that intention will actually follow you the rest of the day. The second intention you need to set for your subconscious mind is that you organized and you complete tasks. And so that's simply making your bed. I know it kind of sounds silly, but there's a lot of research behind what your brain's doing in the morning, and these 2 things are all you need to set yourself up for success mentally. Then of course we have our actual physical body. So drink a glass of water or 2. You're made up of 70% of it, and you lost quite a bit while you were sleeping. And then number 2 or 4 here is going to be actually doing some breathing exercises. So very simply, just 5 to 10 breaths with the tongue at the roof of your mouth, and you're going to essentially be signaling your body that you're in a calm and relaxed state. You're going to help lower those cortisol levels that might be very high, especially if you have to wake up using an alarm. And now you're ready to take on the day. So what do you do for the next 20 minutes? That's completely up to you. But you definitely don't want to open yourself up to any communication in the outside world. Essentially, your goal for the next 20 minutes of being awake is to get to your desk to start your work as soon as possible. For me, it's just going to the restroom, getting a giant bottle of water, putting together my first French press of decaf coffee, because I don't do caffeine until later in the morning, and that's it. I'm at my desk and I'm good to go. And this is where the next 2 hours comes in, because you want to focus on the one thing that's going to move your business forward and move your goals forward for 2 hours, 2 solid, uninterrupted, quiet hours. So the earlier you wake up, you can actually extend this to 2 or 4. I know I'm a little crazy. I wake up at 4 a.m. so I can get to work by 4:30 and have at least 3.5, if not 4 hours of uninterrupted work before clients and team members start asking me 21 questions. And this comes out of a book that I highly recommend. I'll link up in the description, The One Thing by Gary Keller, and he built a $1 billion real estate empire. And what I really like about this book is not only the time management principles, but also the importance of, really, as an entrepreneur, you have 1 or 2 tasks that are really important that are going to move your business forward. And ultimately, you need to actually make sure that you give as much of your prime time of your brain processing power as possible to those tasks. So once you have those 2.5 hours of the morning complete, then you can go on with the rest of the day. Then I recommend, go do the journaling, go do the workout, or go do listening to your podcast, or you're creating your vision board. And so this way you've started the day with the most important task on your list, because ultimately being successful as an entrepreneur isn't necessarily about just writing about what you want to do, isn't necessarily about listening to what other successful people have done. The one way that you're going to be successful is by actually doing the work. And so you want to get that most important work done in the prime hours, which is typically going to be the morning. Now, how does this all work? Well, this is where the 10-hour rule comes in. So 10 hours before your big 2-hour morning task, you want to know what your day is going to look like, and you want to know what that task is going to be. So you want to do this the day before, and this is also going to help make sure that when you wake up in the morning, you don't have a bunch of anxiety about what the day is going to look like. So you actually want to plan out your day the night before, and then plan out what you're going to do in that 2 hours. And so if you need to get information from other people, ask for it then, so when you sit down in the morning, you don't have to ask anyone for anything. Everything you need is in front of you, and you can get to work. So thank you so much for watching. I sincerely hope you got some value out of this video and have some ideas and just a different point of view on what you could be doing with your morning to be successful as an entrepreneur. Go ahead and comment below with what you do in the morning to set yourself up for success, even if it's completely counter to everything that I do, because your experiences and insights is going to help other entrepreneurs figure out how to structure their morning and, most importantly, crush their goals. So go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe for more productivity videos just like this one, and until the next, keep building the business you love.